So I just talked to Lee, and he telling me how difficult it was to find his Billie, and then he found you. So I would love to hear the story from your side, becoming
Yes.
Billie.
Yeah. Absolutely.
His
Yeah.
Billie.
Yeah, his Billie, exactly. And oh my gosh, geez, what an experience it was working with him. But yeah, I think interestingly enough, it's funny that I became the Billie he was looking for, because he did not want to work with me in the beginning, and I did not want to do the movie. So it's funny because we had our very first meeting and we both are kind of like, we don't think, right? He's like, I don't know that you can do this. I was like, I know I can't do this. So I was really, really terrified and nervous, but he connected me with Tasha Smith, who was my acting coach, and she actually prepared me even for the audition. And so and we just started to, I was really praying a lot about it. I tried to get out of it multiple times, but I had a peace, and that was really the guiding thing. I was like, I know that I'm scared, but I also have this drive that I'm feeling like I'm supposed to do this. And so we worked, and he liked the audition and told me that I got the role. And I still tried to convince him to use someone else. And then he was like, just come to set. Please stop being annoying. So we got on set, and we worked through, we talked about her. We, did research together. We would share everything that we would find about her. And we got on set and really just crafted it. His direction was brilliant. The script, obviously, by Susan Lloyd Parks, is incredible. The cast was so supportive. And so we just, through a lot of painstaking just work and research and detail, we really put her and their stories together. And it's the greatest experience I would of my life, I think, at this point.
In your experience with becoming Billie, what elements you found that were fascinating, and what was the most difficult thing for you?
The elements that were fascinating with becoming Billie were, I think, just her. She had such a magnetism to her, and I'm like, okay, it's like I could say to myself, how do I get that? But it's not really a thing that you kind of attain, right? It's sort of this wellspring. It just kind of pours out of you and draws people to you. So I think that was the most fascinating thing, was that so many different people, even people who hated her or were supposed to hate her, were drawn to her. And so I actually have a theory that Harry Anslinger was, not a theory. I think he was obsessed with her, not just and taking her down, but I think he had an uncomfortable obsession with her that he was sort of trying to quell, and so she had this magnetism. I think the most challenging thing for me also was first pulling up trauma and pain and emotions that I had done away with in my life so long ago, and facing those things and living with those things. And actually the greatest challenge for me as of late has been coming out of her. That's really, there's a part of me that I don't want to let her go. I really enjoyed the commingling of our spirits, so I have to be healthy and move on. But that was the really challenging part for me.
What do you think this movie and Billie speak to the times that we're living now? Lee was saying that he did this 2 years ago, and now the movie became even more important in our context. So I would love to hear your point of view.
Yes, absolutely. I think the reason that it's relevant now is because she was a fighter. The reality is we were never able to tell the story. And as much as I love Lady Sings the Blues, I love Diana's performance, and I think it's bar none, but there was only so much we could say as Black people in 1972 when the movie was made, 73. You have to fact check me on that date, but because Harry J. Anslinger was still alive, J. Edgar Hoover was still in power, and so I think now the world is able to see she is truly the godmother of civil rights. Her fighting and standing up and singing Strange Fruit, she was fighting for everybody, not just Black people, all people of color, all marginalized community, the LGBTQ community, for women, for, and so she was really standing up for everyone. And I think that now there's a lot more transparency, and we're beginning to see a lot more things that we've been dealing with as a community. And the story is relevant, but the story has always been relevant. And that's something that we've said before, it was relevant when my grandmother was young. It was relevant when my mother was young. the story's always been relevant. And so I'm hoping that as we continue to tell the truth about these stories, that the more you begin to see the contribution of people of color, and the more you begin to see the contribution of Black people, of women, you know, of these communities, that you can't hate someone that helped to build, you know, the very soil that you stand on. And so I think it's imperative that we tell these truths.
Andra, thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks for your Billie.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Anna Maria.
Take care.